Hi everybody, I'm Morgan.crosbie from Finch Chevrolet in London, Ontario, Canada, and you're watching Cars and Crosby. I've got another amazing Corvette episode for you. We've got lots to talk about. We're going to be learning a lot more about this NCM bash as well. Kai Sponde, the plant manager down there, he was celebrating the 40th anniversary of the Corvettes being produced at the Bowling Green facility, and he also had a lot of amazing things to pass along about the new colors. This in particular is something that I spend a lot of time and energy on researching because it's really great for me to be able to know all the ins and the outs of these colors so that when it comes to you designing your Corvette, you have a lot more of a helping hand and easing you and maybe confirming that that's a color choice that you want to go with, or maybe even helping you out with a combination. So one of the most important things in my job that I have a ton of fun in being able to help you guys out with is the colors, and we have 3 new colors that we're going to be going over today. Another thing, we've got a delivery day on our hands here. This one over here in particular we haven't seen yet, so we're going to feature this one on the channel as we haven't seen it yet. This was actually purchased from another dealership. One of my clients on the list wasn't able to get one in time on my list. He was eager to see one for this summer, and I don't blame him for being able to get one. We obviously want to take care of his Corvette regardless it was purchased, and I'm also seeing a lot of people that are from out of town that are coming in and getting their Corvettes worked on here. I absolutely can't tell you how much I appreciate that. In my opinion, is the ultimate compliment to know that you guys have put in your faith in Phil and Todd and my hands in getting your Corvette worked on. So thank you so much for everyone that's coming from out of town to get your Corvette worked on. And if you are purchasing one from another dealership, don't hesitate to come by if you're wanting to get some accessories done, as one of my clients has done here. Now, without further ado, let's introduce you to it. This is a Arctic White 3LT convertible with the black interior and red accents on it. We have the red stitching and then also some tasteful upgrades. We have the bright red calipers, and we've also got the red seatbelts on here. So a very nicely appointed vehicle, nothing too crazy, but when you look a little bit more in detail at this, you'll see nice features like exposed carbon fiber mirrors, which just give it a little bit more of a pop and style. Now this has the painted nacelles and the top on it, and if you guys look in the distance there, you'll see that mine has a very similar look. That was what I was going for with the convertible, was to try to get that painted top look that I think is a very exotic European style, and this one in my opinion just checks all the boxes off at being a classy, tasteful Corvette. Now over here I have our Elkhart and then our Torch Red. On both of these models we had the Z51 spoiler installed. These were not Z51s, so we did that after the fact. And if you're looking at trying to save some money, or maybe you just don't have the demeanor to ever go to the track and need any of these performance items, there's a lot of reasons why you would want to do it this way. The tires in particular, if you're wanting to have a more well-rounded, robust driving season with your tires, the all seasons are going to be able to do that, which is on the non-Z51 package. We can also do the NPP performance exhaust, which both of these have also got. That's one of the most important things in my opinion to get on your Corvette, and thankfully both of these Corvettes have it. And the last thing that they wanted, just to complete the styling of it, was to put the Z51 on, which we were able to do very easily. We just installed them on. Phil did it in the video that we just uploaded earlier this week, and it's not a hard process. We can do it with either a high wing or we can do it with a regular Z51 without any issues, and as also seen on Black Beauty, you can do some other aftermarket items as well. So we've got the paint to match option on here, so it is starting to finally look you know, the part of having a very consistent color throughout it. Another thing that we haven't seen on the channel, surprisingly, because it was a very common option on the C7, was the chrome badge package. That, in my opinion, is one of the most iconic combinations, a torch red Corvette with chrome. I know that Rick Conti found a couple of people that had taken their Trident spoke rims on the C8s and they got them chromed up. I know, oh, this isn't a Trident spoke, sorry, these are the Trident spoke over here. I know that there's a couple of places that you can send your rims to and they will chrome them up. It is kind of an interesting thing to think that there is no chrome available option from General Motors, but it's creative, and I love to see what people have to do with their vehicles in terms of accenting and aftermarket items. So first look at having a chrome on torch red badge on the Corvette. This is a 2LT in Adrenaline Red, which was the second most popular interior choice. And then we have black on this one, which was the most popular with 28%. So we're gonna go inside. I've got a lot of things that I wanna pass along to you guys in terms of upgrades, or sorry, news news on the new colors that we have. I'm very excited about this. I'm hoping to see some of these in some of the orders that we do in the first batch of production for 22, which will be starting in mid-June. So we will be ramping down production of the 21. Final consensus for that will probably be in the next month or two, and then we will start to see our 22 model years. Let's knock on wood again, just hope that we can keep that record going. We'll hopefully see some of those start to arrive in mid to late July. That would be my guess on when we would see our first 22s, which would mean that we would maybe see some new colors if my customers are looking at ordering them. So I'm very excited to see what you guys have to say in the comments section below about these as we start to learn more. You know, the first impressions of the caffeine were quite boisterous. There was a lot of energy and excitement about these colors, especially the caffeine one. And the more and more I read into these colors, the more and more I am excited about them, as I think that these are going to be a great hit. So stay tuned. We've got a great Corvette episode coming your way. I'm inside. It started to rain. I don't want to be out there when it's getting all crummy out. Hopefully the weather picks up before the deliveries. And as you guys all know, if you have a Corvette, you'll become a part-time meteorologist, and the app inside of your Corvette will really help out. That Weather Channel app is something that I use quite often, especially with that live radar feature. So getting back to what happened at NCM Bash, Kai was celebrating the 40th anniversary of Bowling Green producing the Corvette. Back in 1981, the Corvette listed for around $16,000. Now it has a starting price of around $60,000. When you adjust for inflation, it's actually pretty close to the same amount of money when you adjust for inflation. And one of the craziest stats that Kai pointed out is the quarter-mile time of the C8 Corvette is almost the exact same as the 0 to 60 time of the 1981 C3 Corvette. So that's just a remarkable statistic to show you how much innovation has come in the last 40 years that they've been producing in the Bowling Green facility. And to see that price point stay in the very similar wheelhouse is absolutely remarkable. That's one of the biggest reasons why I'm a huge fan of being part of Corvette. Just to make, you know, that awesome price point and the amount of value that you get over the years is pretty remarkable. So I also want to thank all the people down at Bowling Green. There's 1,500 of you that are working on the Corvette. 600 people touch every single Corvette that is being produced at the facility. There's over 1,500 parts that these 600 individuals are going to be putting onto your Corvette. And to think about the supply chain network that we've had to combat with over the last year during this pandemic. You know, there's tier 1 suppliers, then there's tier 2 suppliers, then you're just getting down to the raw natural resources and the amount of challenges that we've had over this last year to get them. You know, just in terms of recent examples, the Texas ice storms was causing 2 facilities in Louisiana and Texas that were producing resin and foam to shut down, and that's now causing a rift in the supply chain. That's just one example of something that happened recently that we're now just starting to see the side effects of. And to think of the job that this Bowling Green facility team is having to do, I am just absolutely blown away with the amount of patience and resilience that you guys have had in trying to combat each individual challenge as it comes about, and to think that you have to have 1,500 parts to put together on this, and the quality that I'm receiving. You know, I sometimes sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but I can tell you guys from honest experience firsthand, the quality that we're receiving out of the facility right now is bar none the highest that I've ever seen it since I started working for General Motors. I'm gonna knock on wood for this, and then also for the second thing that Kai was mentioning, and that this is the 7th week in a row that we've had uninterrupted production of the Corvette, which is just absolutely remarkable, and I hope that continues all the way through this model year's production, which will end in mid-June. So let's get to the good stuff now. Chuck Valentini, one of the managers at the Bowling Green facility plant, he was doing a presentation in a lot more detail about these colors, and I'm gonna start off with what I think is gonna be my new favorite color, and that's the Hypersonic Gray. Main reason why I like this is it has a really strong metallic content, and it's gonna show off the lines on the Corvette a lot better because it has a ton of travel to it. So when you have a color with a lot of travel, what that's gonna do is it's gonna accentuate the lines on the Corvette, and you'll see in the different areas that the Corvette has how the color changes based on the amount of light and that is reflecting on that certain level. So that, in my opinion, is gonna really help off in showing these lines, but more importantly, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this color and being able to accent it because it's a very clean slate to be able to add maybe a bright Indy racing stripe. So if you were to take the Indy racing stripes and to do it in a brighter color, or even just the hash marks, that's going to be good. Doing, you know, bright edge red calipers or a lighter color interior, those are going to be really great accents in terms of making it so that your Hypersonic Gray Corvette can pop and kind of fit your character as well. You know, you want to make sure that this thing is an extension of yourself, and that's a really awesome ability to do with the Hypersonic Gray. Now, Amplify Orange is going to be replacing Sebring Orange. This is a pastel color, so this in particular is going to be a great reference because this is also a pastel color, and it's also a tint coat. So it's actually, the official name for it will be Amplify Orange Tint Coat. And what a tint coat does is it actually adds a little bit of that pigment to the clear coat, and that's going to make it so that it has a wetter, more deeper paint finish on it. It's going to look like it is almost the same kind of color regardless of its inside or outside. That to me is one of the biggest benefits of having a pastel, is regardless of the lighting conditions, the color will kind of stay the same. So inside or outside, you'll see that stay the same, and I'm very excited to see another bright color like Rapid Blue, but only in the orange. Now, on the topic of colors changing on the inside to the outside, I think that the Caffeine Metallic has got a lot of controversy already, just based on what we've seen for first impressions. Some people have been quite brash towards this color, but I'm actually very optimistic, especially after listening to what Chuck had to say about this thing having so much metal flake in it. It has mica, which is what is in my Ceramic Matrix Gray, which is what gives it that pearlescent kind of shine. You'll know from a Cadillac, if you've seen them in that crystal white, that that is a very heavy mica paint. So it has that pearlescent kind of look to it, and that's what gives it some of that tone. But then it also has two different types of aluminum flakes that bring burgundy, silver, gold, and red all into the color as well. So this actually has the most amount of metallic flakes that have ever been in a Corvette. And where I'm going with this is that the light is going to bring this Corvette to life. And when we're seeing it inside under just one little studio light in the indoors, it's not going to give you the full experience, especially when you think about all the different types of panels and curves that are on this vehicle. When we get it outside, it is going to be quite a bit different than what we see right now, and I'm very optimistic that this will bring a lot of character to a lot of people's Corvettes if they give it a chance. So we'll see what that looks like. Hopefully there's someone on my list that's going to order it, and yeah, we'll go from there. I haven't heard any news yet on when the configurator is going to open up, but you better bet that I will be on there looking at great combinations. And if you guys can give me any insight on some combinations or a build that you're looking at, I'm all ears as well. Now, some more exciting things that we learned about: right-hand drive Corvettes are going to be starting to be delivered. You may have even got one by the time you watch this video. You know, it's not common to have a lot of Corvette specialists and facilities all around the world that are going to help represent you. So if you guys are interested and you're getting a Corvette from somewhere around the world, please reach out. I'd love to be able to help you guys out. I find it fascinating to know that that global vehicle is now part of our repertoire. And to think that the Corvette is something that is going to be sold all around the world is pretty remarkable to me, and I'm excited to be able to connect with a lot of you guys when you get your Corvette to help you out if there's anything you need. I already had one client or friend or follower of the channel reach out from Dubai, and he was mentioning that the accessories are a lot more limited there, and I will be helping him out in shipping some accessories. So if you guys are somewhere around the world and you're looking at getting a Corvette accessory, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Now, Taj had a lot of great things to talk about with Harlan and Josh on the Corvette engineering team. There was a lot of accolades and awards that we won. Just to summarize a couple of them, there's Car and Drivers 10 Best, which we made again. Motor Authority, we were Car of the Year. You know, just a lot of really good things to pass along in terms of awards and accolades. We were the fastest selling car on the market currently, regardless of what brand. To think that that is the case is pretty cool. And in the sports car market, we own 43% of the market share. So out of all the sports cars, we're talking about Porsche 911s, we're talking about Ferraris, Audis, BMWs, anything that is a high performance sports car, we own 43% of all the sales right now for the 21 model year, which is absolutely remarkable. Mobile One was celebrating their anniversary with Corvette this year. We have our new liveries that are on the C8R car, and they did a great presentation. To summarize a couple things from that, if you have a C7 or a C8, you should be using the new Mobile One Dexos ESP 10W40. That is the new oil that we have in all the C8s, and it is now recommended for your C7 as well. If you have an older Corvette, please reference your owner's manual and use that oil that was referenced in the original owner's manual. And if you guys are looking at anything from the Michelin world, you know, nothing really crazy to report. It was really just overall just a good experience to see those engineers answering a couple of the questions. But you know, I've had all 4 of the different types of tires that I've tried. I haven't videotaped the Cup 2s yet, but I have driven them in it. But the Alpine tires for the winter, my Corvette turned into a snowmobile. The all-season tires, it was very nice to have a 1 lateral G tire in low temperature tires, or low temperature conditions. That was pretty remarkable. And then the ultra high performance summer tires that we've had on the Z51 package, I've also had those on the track in a bunch of different applications. And I've been overall very happy with it. I think the biggest thing that I'm always happy about with Michelin is the even wear that you see from it. You get a lot of use out of your tires. Performance is great, but if you can have a tire that lasts a long time, that's going to make sense from financial perspective as well, which I quite appreciate. So thank you very much for watching this, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned some stuff about the new Corvette NCM Bash that just occurred. There will be some more events that'll be happening in the summer. I don't know for sure what's going to be the end result with us Canadians and being able to go to them, but I am optimistic that there will be some events that I'll be able to do near the end of the summer or the early fall. So stay tuned for more awesome content, and happy motoring. All right, because of that rain, I've got the last 2 Corvettes in the showroom. If you were paying along in that montage, you may have seen a black Z51 2LT, and that was a Corvette that we had come in on trade, and we were not even able to advertise it before we already sold it. That's how fast the used C8s are going. So we do have C8s that are coming in that are used. And if you are interested, I can take down your information and we can put you on the list of people that are waiting to purchase a used C8. Here we have in our little Cadillac showcasing area with all these awesome lights, the silver flare, but we don't really need to worry about those lights right now because we have beautiful sunlight coming in the morning. And this in particular is something that I would really take note of if you're wanting to get silver flare, because you can see all the different tones and lights that you get in this beautiful color. I mentioned because of the hypersonic gray, I'm going to be using a lot of bright accents because it's a very blank slate to start with, and you'll see here with that adrenaline red interior how well the silver flare does with that. This is a Z51, so we didn't have to add on the Z51 spoiler on this one. Pretty good build. It's a 2LT, reasonable price point, and it gets a lot of stuff across without having to go too high into the prices here. We have just the base rims that are on this one because the silver that's on that finish goes pretty well with there. I'm sure that there will be something that he'll do aftermarket down the road. But just get a look at that. That, if you're looking at silver flare, is all that you need to know about the color. And then over on the other side of the showroom, I have a rapid blue one that unfortunately the rear tires, we still don't have them yet for the upgraded Bostons that we were going to be putting on it. Think of what I have on mine, that HF5 kit. That's going to be going on this one, and unfortunately, because they're not here yet, they're going to be coming in at around mid-May. There's no sense in having this beautiful car stay inside the showroom. We might as well get it out on the open road for the customer, and then we can get them installed after the fact. So these are not the shoes that should be on the outfit. And once you see it with the black finish on the rims, it'll make a lot more sense with having the Z51 spoiler in black, the mirrors, and then also having this transparent top. We wanted to make sure that we can kind of take away the pop from the dark tones on the transparent top, and to do that, we've got the accents all in black, so you don't have this big rapid blue vehicle coming down the road and only having one black spot on the top, and then also in this area right here. So I think we've done a really good job from what you can see so far. I know that it's not complete, but I want to let this guy enjoy it. You know, he's got a beautiful Corvette. There's some nice, gorgeous Canadian weather coming through after all the rain that we had. And yeah, a lot more things coming through the pipes. I've got a very cool Corvette that's coming next. It just got built yesterday, and thankfully the customer was an eager beaver in getting his rims and tires all ready to go ahead of time on his own. So I'm very happy to report that the next Corvette that comes up will have its Vossens already put together. They're actually being shipped right now as we speak. And hopefully it'll be here in a couple of days, and we'll put together a video to show you it. And it's a very cool Corvette. I'm excited to show you all the different features that we've done on it in terms of design. So if you guys haven't already done it, please hit that like button if you liked it. If you are thinking about some cool combinations on the next Corvette that we have coming through for the 3 new colors, give me some ideas of what you think is your favorite. I want to know if everyone is on the same page with me that caffeine is going to be a really cool color that a lot of people will maybe take advantage of. If you think hypersonic gray is going to be the best of the new colors, let me know as well. And if you haven't already done it, hit that bell notification so that you can be notified every time that I have a new video come out. So thanks a lot, guys, and happy motoring.